Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, November 2022, question 31. Which set of conditions is used in the contact process? So this is a recall question. What are the conditions for the contact process? 450 degrees Celsius temperature, 2 to 8 atmospheric pressure, and V2O5 catalyst. Okay, so temperature should be 450. 100 to 200 wrong, 100 to 200 wrong, 400 to 500 correct, 400 to 500 correct. So options A and B have been eliminated, and we are left with options C and D. Let's continue. Pressure is between 2 to 8 atmospheres. Option C has 1 to 2, and option D has 200. So 1 to 2 includes 2 atmospheres, which is correct. 200 is wrong. So option C is the correct option. Let's look at the catalyst. The catalyst in option C is V2O5, vanadium 5 oxide, which is the correct catalyst, making option C the correct option for this question. Question 32. Part of the period table is shown. Which substance is an unreactive gas found in the atmosphere? Okay, let's look at these gases. A is a hydrogen gas. B is in period 2. So boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. B is oxygen. After oxygen comes fluorine. Below fluorine comes chlorine. So Cl2. C is Cl2. And the one next to chlorine is argon. Now, what they have asked is which substance is an unreactive gas found in the atmosphere? Okay, hydrogen, oxygen, and chlorine are reactive gases. And argon is a noble gas, making it an unreactive gas. Hence, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 33. Iron is obtained in the blast furnace from the ore hematite. Hematite is Fe2O3. Okay, which statement is correct? Calcium carbonate is used to remove acidic impurities. Okay, calcium carbonate is CaCO3, and the acidic impurities that we are aware of is silicon dioxide, sand, SiO2. So CaCO3 reacts with SiO2 to produce CaSiO3, and SiO2 is acidic in nature, making option A correct. Let's look at the other options as well. Option B, coke is reduced to carbon dioxide. No, 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 no. Carbon, coke is carbon on reaction with oxygen is oxidized to carbon dioxide, not reduced. So this statement is wrong. Hematite is oxidized by carbon monoxide. Hematite Fe2O3 reacts with 3 moles of carbon monoxide. It is converted into iron, which means it is reduced because iron 3 positive ion is converted into iron metal, and we have 3 moles of CO2 being produced. So the word oxidize here makes this option incorrect. Last one, hematite undergoes thermal decomposition. No, it undergoes reduction. So option D is also incorrect. Thus, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 34. Pollution may be caused by oxides of carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. Okay. Now, what are the oxides of carbon? Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Oxides of nitrogen is nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide. And oxides of sulfur are sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Okay. Which elements can each form more than one oxide? Carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, yes, all of them form two oxides. Carbon and nitrogen, sulfur is missing. Carbon and sulfur, nitrogen is missing. Nitrogen and sulfur, carbon is missing. Therefore, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 35. A river runs through an area of land that is used for growing cotton. The cotton farmers applied a large amount of fertilizer to their fields. This caused eutrophication in the river water. Which statement is correct? Decreased level of mineral salts caused the eutrophication. Decreased level of minerals happens when acid passes through the soil, which happens in acid rain. So this is not a cause of eutrophication. Desalination of river water occurred. Desalination of river water takes place when water is purified. So this is not during eutrophication. Increased levels of phosphates cause the eutrophication. So eutrophication is caused by increased use of fertilizers, and fertilizers contain phosphates. So option C is correct. Oxygen levels in the river water increased. No, during eutrophication, there is plant and algae growth which consumes oxygen. So oxygen levels should decrease when eutrophication is taking place. So option C is the correct option for this question. Question 36. Which compound is an alkane? Okay, let's look at the structures. A, CH2, CH, that means there's a double bond here. CH2, CH3. Presence of a double bond makes A an alkene. Option B, CH3, CH, CH3 and CH3. This is an alkane. Option C, CH3, CH, CH3. No, CH, CH, not CH3. It is CH and CH. So this is a double bond. CH and CH, and then we have CH3. So this also contains a double bond. So this is also an alkene. And option D, we have a carbon with two CH3 groups present and a CH2. CH2 makes this carbon have a double bond with the neighboring carbon atom. So this is also an alkene. So A, C, and D are alkenes. B is the only one that is an alkane, making B the correct option for this question. Question 37. The equation shows the reaction that takes place when butanol is completely combusted in air. Okay. So butanol is C4H9OH. So if we write its molecular formula, this would become C4H10O. This would react with oxygen X plus Y upon 4, where C4, the value 4 here is X, and H10, the value 10 here is Y, right? And since there is one oxygen atom present here, that would be accounted for by subtracting half a molecule from this formula, C X plus Y upon 4, right? We subtract half. So this would give us the moles of oxygen, giving us X moles of CO2 and Y upon 2 moles of H2O. So now we can perform this calculation mathematically. The value of X is 4, the value of Y is 10. So 4 plus 10 upon 4, and we minus half from this in the end. So 10 upon 4 becomes 2.5. So 4 plus 2.5 and minus 0.5. So this would become 6.5, and we minus 0.5 here. So we end up with 6 moles of O2. So the value of X has to be 6. So we have 6 in option D. Next, X moles of CO2 here. Now this X refers to 4, the number of carbon atoms in the formula. So option D has 4 as the value of Y, which should be 4, and the value of Z is the value of Y upon 2. Now the value of Y in this general combustion equation is 10. So 10 divided by 2 gives us 5, making value Z 5, which is also correct in option D, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 38. Propanoic acid reacts with calcium carbonate. The products of this reaction are calcium propanoate, carbon dioxide, and water. What is the equation for this reaction? Okay. First of all, propanoic acid, C2H5 COOH. This is propanoic acid. Option A has this value. Option B also has this value of carbon and hydrogen. Option C and D have C3H7. So options C and D are incorrect. So we are left with options A and B. And now, when this weak acid loses an H positive ion, it forms the anion C2H5 COO minus. Whereas the cation present has a 2 positive charge, which means we will have 2 moles of C2H5 COO minus ion attaching to this calcium ion. So the formula of calcium propanoate would be C2H5 COO twice and Ca. So if we look at option A, we don't have this option present because there is only 1 mole of C2H5 COO minus, whereas the entire salt has 2 moles present. So option A is incorrect, but option B has this exact same salt present. So option B is the correct option for this question. Question 39. Which row shows all the elements present in the polymers listed? So in nylon, we have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen present. In polyethylene, this is a polymer of a hydrocarbon. So this will only have carbon and hydrogen present in it. Terylene is a polyester. So this would have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen present in it. So let's look at the options. Now, nylon having an amide bond will also have a nitrogen atom in it. So it should have CH, O, and N. So options B and D are correct. A and B are missing elements. So let's continue with options B and D. In polyethylene, we would have only carbon and hydrogen, which is there in both options B and D. And in terylene, we have only CHO. In option B, they have included nitrogen, which is not present. In option D, we have the correct elements, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 40. The partial structure of a polyamide is shown. Okay. Which monomers would produce this polymer? So let's identify a repeat unit. If we start from here, we have an amide bond here. Since this is a polyamide, that means this is one repeat unit, which makes this a second repeat unit. So now we can clearly confirm that our monomer would have a box with an NH2 group on one side and a C double OH group on the other side. So which monomers would produce this polymer? Monomer 1, yes, definitely, because we've got an amine group on one side and a carboxyl group on the other. Option 2 has both amine groups present and no carboxylic groups. Option 2 is incorrect. Option 3 has both carboxylic groups present and no amine group. Option 3 is also incorrect. So one only is our correct option, making option A the correct option for this question.